By the end of this video, you're going to understand why this Trump presidency could end up with you getting so rich that Zelensky is going to be coming to you for more loans, because this is I want to go through a thread with you. Actually, it's from Croissant Ethereum here, and it's basically a deep dive into Donald Trump's history with crypto. And this is really interesting because a lot of you guys may not even know about this, but Donald Trump actually sent a Bitcoin transaction in New York earlier this year, like literally just a few months ago. So, and that he's the first ever US president or ex-president to do something like that. So really, really big stuff here. And I actually think that this could be leading to price targets that are astronomical, not just for Bitcoin, because this actually surprisingly ties in with Doge as well quite directly, which, you know, as you know, you've been seeing my videos on Doge. If you haven't already, double check that you are subscribed so you don't miss out on this time-sensitive content. But Doge itself has tripled within basically a week, which is insane, but it's clearly happened because of the Department of Government Efficiency, which is now an official thing, by the way. Donald Trump actually made a tweet about Doge. I shit you not, DOGE. He made a tweet about it, acknowledging that Elon Musk is going to be heading it up. I think it was with Vivek Ramaswamy. Absolutely insane. Like, it's kind of hard to believe. We're going to be going through it all and the potential price impact. But the first thing I need to do is go through this tweet thread with you. And as usual, if you are looking for a place to trade these markets, ladies and gents, Bybit and Blofin are the best places to be, where you get thousands and thousands of dollars to trade with for free in your account when you start trading using these links. So any additional profits that you make with that capital that they give you, you're going to be able to withdraw it, which is super cool. So check them out if you're not from a restricted region, if you're allowed to in your country. But let's take a look through this. This is really interesting because Donald Trump's first ever kind of positive interactions with crypto happened in December of 2022. But I have to preface this by saying that his interactions with crypto before this were very negative. Donald Trump had a very, very negative perception on crypto, labeling it, you know, just something that's going to vanish or whatever, you know, the standard boomer arguments that you guys have heard a million times. Yeah, maybe not just a boomer argument, that's, you know, across many generations, but he was very, very negative about it. And here, apparently he's even rugged people on NFTs, so he's a true crypto participant if that's the case. But December 15, 2022, Donald Trump releases his own NFT collection called Trump's Digital Trading Cards. They quickly sell out, making $4.5 million. He does another one with his mugshot selfie. That sells off with a total of 7.1 collected from NFTs. But here's where it gets really interesting, because NFTs are just a bunch of bullshit, right? But what makes them much more interesting is that if the seller actually ties very interesting value adds to them, and I can't think of a better value add for a guy like Donald Trump other than filling the halls of Mar-a-Lago in NFT gala hosted with NFT holders. So basically people that held the NFTs from Trump got a full 3-course meal and the ability to speak to him directly, which is super, super cool. Those of you that are interested in reading this thread, if you want to get into a little bit more detail or just show Croissant some love, I'm going to link it in the description, so check that out if you're going to be interested in that. But here, check this out. This is the second event he held for NFT holders, which is super, super cool. Here, he, in classic politician nature, you guys think that he's Jesus or something. I don't get it. Some of you think he's Jesus, but I mean, this dude is a politician just like the rest of them. You can watch this video, you'll understand why. Just typical politician fashion, won't answer a damn question when it's important. But here we are, raising $7.5 million in for his campaign from May in cryptocurrency, which is quite impressive. And then continuing to speak at Bitcoin conferences. This was May as well. June 11th, Donald Trump meets with Bitcoin mining executives from a bunch of different companies. We want all the remaining Bitcoin to be made in the USA. It'll help us be energy dominant. So that's super, super cool. Obviously, he wants the mining to move to America. Now, here's where it starts really heating up. And I actually think this is really interesting. The reason I was flying through everything else is to get to this part. J.D. Vance, obviously, J.D. Vance is Donald Trump's VP. And what makes him really interesting is first of all, he owns right now at current market rates probably about $800,000 in Bitcoin. And the thing you got to understand about these people is, like, they're not making money like in crypto. Yeah, I mean, like, even though you're talking about a vice president here, there are many people probably watching this YouTube video right now that will run laps around J.D. Vance's future net worth even as well. Just because they've been in crypto for the last few years. So it's not as easy to make money as a politician as it is in crypto, believe it or not. I know it sounds crazy. There are exceptions, right? You could be Nancy Pelosi or her husband, and in that case, you're doing pretty well. Although inverse Jim Cramer is actually outperforming them, which I think is hilarious. But if we stick on topic here, keep it on topic, Savvy. $500,000 or more for JD Vance in terms of Bitcoin holdings. I think it's going to be right around 800K. And the reason I'm making it a big deal is because to him it is going to be a big deal. This dude bought Bitcoin, hopefully thinking that it'll go up just like the rest of us, which is so different to Kamala or Donald Trump, people who either don't need to or just didn't choose to do something like that. JD Vance is just like you and I, bro. Like dude's buying Bitcoin to just better his family and his life, and he's got holdings of it, which is really interesting. But let me dial up the heat a little bit. He went to law school at Yale before joining Mithril Capital, a VC firm founded by BTC investor Peter Thiel. You guys may have heard that name. Peter Thiel, is it? I think it's Thiel. And Thiel famously donated $15 million to Vance's bid for Senate in 2022. So just a side note here, I think it's absolutely mind-blowing how Peter Thiel has potentially installed a president that's in his pocket because he's been funding this guy throughout his entire political career. I just find that absolutely crazy. It's just crazy to see how the world is working. I'm still learning, guys. I'm still a young guy, so for me to kind of see this, I'm seeing a lot of this for the first time. A day after this, despite earlier disagreements, Elon Musk promised to donate $45 million every month to America PAC, a super political action committee backing Trump. Now, and this is interesting, it's July 27th. It's a big day. We're at the 2024 Bitcoin conference in Nashville, Tennessee, and Trump says that he's going to fire Gensler. He advocates for more Bitcoin mining in the USA. He denounces CBDCs, and then he mentions a strategic national Bitcoin reserve. This guy's fucking bullish, mate. This guy's really, really bullish. I mean, it's going to be one of two things. Either you believe Trump and he actually follows through on what he says, or he is riling you up, he's getting you super, super excited, and then the time to do things actually come and he just doesn't actually pull through. Now, I was actually criticizing him a little bit for 2016 to 2020, because he said he'd do a lot of things and then he didn't do them, and his excuse was always the House or the Senate or whatever. I don't know exactly how US politics works. He was just accusing the other branches of governments for not giving him, the runway to do what he needed. And obviously after fact checking that is actually true. I looked at that myself, but this time it is different. This time his party runs every branch of the government with some sort of a majority. It's actually very, very impressive. So he doesn't really have an excuse to not do what he's saying here. And if you believe him, then you're gonna really, really like this, because this is so damn bullish. He's gonna fire Gary Gensler. Wow, that is music to my ears. Here, take a look at this. Newest financial holdings disclosure on August 16, 2024 revealed Trump has over $5 million on Ethereum. Okay, very, very cool. Finally, September 18, Donald Trump made history being the first United States president to make a Bitcoin transaction while buying a burger in Manhattan. He said it's very easy. It is indeed very easy. Those of you that have spent Bitcoin around the world, when you're spending it normally, take a look at this video right here. All he's doing is he's scanning a QR code and then hitting send with his little secret service buddy or whatever on the side, just helping him out, which is hilarious, but super, super straightforward. And then just to refresh this again, shout out to Croissant for such a beautifully kind of laid out thread here. Go check him out with the link in the description. But Donald Trump's launching fourth series of NFT projects, making 7.1. He's accepting Bitcoin donations. He's hosting special events. He's at conferences for Bitcoin. He's appealing to top executives in mining. He's got JD Vance, who's just, I think he's way more interesting for crypto than Trump himself. Replacing Gary Gensler. My God, it is just all looking absolutely sick. But I'll tell you what, we're not done here. This is actually, we're going to continue on. This is clearly the most bullish president for Bitcoin ever. It's November and we've arrived with a Trump victory, soon to be in the White House. Landslide election puts us in a unique situation. But guys, it goes even further than this, because he's confirmed the creation of Doge. I think this is actually one of the crazier parts, and it's the reason that I wanted to really talk to you about this, because to me, this just takes this onto a different level. This just takes this all the way up to a completely different place. If we go ahead and take a look at Doge right here on Twitter, we're going to see, first of all, Doge is trading at 37 cents, which according to market cap puts it at $55 billion. And I want to show you what else is worth, in this kind of range, what's worth double than this. I want to show you what's worth double 55 billion right here. Let's go ahead to the total assets by market cap. So this is, all companies, all commodities, well, just precious metals, crypto, and ETFs, right? So a lot of, different kind of asset classes here. And one of these big assets that's sitting at $1 trillion right here is Tesla. And so very, very strangely, it's so weird to say this out loud, but right now Doge's current valuation is equivalent to 5% of the entire company of Tesla, which is just kind of crazy to say. HSBC, for example, some of you guys may have heard them. We in the UK have the privilege of them having a very big presence there. Of course, we love HSBC, don't we? One of the least corrupt banks in history, of course. And $161 billion valuation for this company here, which just puts it 3 times ahead of Dogecoin, which is just ridiculous. It's hilarious. It's just absolutely hilarious. Let's just call it what it is. And so, to me, this is kind of what makes things really, really interesting. Doge is official. You can expect the following from Farzad here. Countless government bureaucrats will scream bloody murder that the cuts Elon and Vivek will do are going to be awful for America. Federal employees will scream bloody murder that cutting their jobs will result in a terrible failure. Imagine this. The federal employees are going to be trying to justify keeping their jobs. Yeah, that's what we like. That's what we like. They were justifying all the losses you've had to take for years and years and years. And now it's going to hit them too. Here's the official statement. I'm pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk, working in conjunction with American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead the Department of... I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that it's literally called Doge. And I just think that, the effects for Bitcoin, the effects for Dogecoin here could be astronomical. I think the market clearly knows that. I mean, the way that we've been rallying up since that all-time high was broken has just been insane. Take a look at this. Bitcoin's dominance has now risen above its prior high. It's continuing to move upward, and we're continuing to see carnage, ladies and gents, carnage in the altcoin market. Look at that. Perfect rejection for Ethereum there, exactly as I was predicting for you right here on this YouTube channel. Shout out to those of you that are subscribed and are not missing out on this content, because that was amazing content. And those of you who are interested in getting a little bit more, you can actually reach out to me on this link in the description. This is really interesting, where we've actually got a 12-week super intense kind of program where you get to work directly one-to-one with me, and we have had phenomenal results out of this program. It's very expensive and it is very serious, so don't reach out if either of those things don't sound right for you. But if you are super serious and you think that this is something you could be interested in, then definitely reach out using this link here and I'll get you inside. And obviously you got these beautiful links for free cash if you want to check them out too, if you're not in a restricted region. But bringing it back to these charts here, I mean, Ethereum just dying against Bitcoin here again. We're seeing even Cardano, a very, very strong performer after that Charles Hoskinson video, dropping quite hard here. And just, the natural effects of Bitcoin gaining a lot of dominance here. It's absolutely fantastic. It's happening while Bitcoin is dropping a little bit, which continues to prove exactly what I've been saying for many, many months and years, which is that when Bitcoin goes up, we're going to see the Bitcoin dominance increase, which is exactly what we've been seeing over the last week or so. But also when Bitcoin goes down, you're still going to see Bitcoin's dominance increasing, because in both cases, people don't want the additional risk of being in the altcoin market. It's abundantly clear. We've seen it happen a million times in a million different ways, and now it's happening again right now. But, the way that these markets have responded, though, just with this sheer aggression, right? After that Trump victory, and then just seeing how hard this dude is leaning into crypto, into Bitcoin, and then the fact that Doge could be a bigger part of the government. I mean, imagine if, the thing that's getting crazy now is that because these are just ideas that you can trade, like Dogecoin, for example. What's getting really crazy about this to me is that if the Department of Government Efficiency becomes a hit, and if it starts lowering taxation rates and it starts exposing government corruption, you remember like the Twitter files when Elon Musk bought Twitter and then he released all the Twitter files and it was just a bombshell after bombshell that was irrefutable. These were irrefutable bombshells that he was dropping. If the Doge department gets a similar kind of treatment to that for us, for the public, well, for Americans, I guess more specifically, then I think that could result in, or just any kind of positive publicity. I think that could result in big price moves for Doge itself. And the thing we got to keep in mind is that this coin, look, it's got a high market cap, right? I mean, it's sitting at like $56 billion. It's higher than XRP, for fuck's sake. It's higher than Cardano or the TRX. This is just insane. But it still moves like it moves like a puppy coin. It moves like a little shit coin that's got like a $5 million market cap that's getting pumped by, I don't know, a bunch of Twitter gurus or something, and I think that's what makes it really interesting, because if it's got legs like that, and now it's basically being fully endorsed by the federal government of the United States of America. I mean, I don't know what kind of impacts that's going to have on this market, but I'm very curious to find out, and I'm sure you are too. And I'm also very curious to see how that affects all of our wallets as well. So super, super exciting stuff here in this market. As usual, if you are loving this content, make sure that you smash up those likes and subscribe and tick the bell so you don't miss out on more of this content. Exclusive, insightful content does get posted on X. So if you don't follow me there, you are missing out on exclusives. Tesla, for example, is significantly outperforming Bitcoin right now, and I made Tesla analysis on Twitter only. I didn't post it to YouTube. It got like 10,000 views, way more views than we usually get here. People loved it, and there was a shitload more profit there than Bitcoin, which is kind of hard to believe because of how explosive Bitcoin has been, but that just goes to show you the power of Twitter. Go check me out over there if you're interested. And we got a few more altcoin videos that you guys are going to love, which are coming out soon. So check them all out. I'm stumbling over my words. It's time for me to head off. I really hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, you know exactly what to do, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.